Hello, Manchester, and welcome to MTHS 21's monthly update. I'm Thomas S.
And I'm Eddie R. Today we'll be covering the fire department at Ridgeway Elementary School, Mr. Trethway being recognized as an awesome superintendent, and Rory Dunkley fixing up the football field.
So stay tuned. We have an exciting show for you today. First, let's start with some elementary school news. Recently at Manchester Township Elementary School, the 5th graders went on a class trip to Washington's Crossing State Park. Students observed soldiers performing drills and demonstrating musket and cannon firing. They learned also how people and soldiers lived during the 18th century through tours of the Hibbs House and McConaughey's Ferry, and volunteers at the park exposed the children how pig cooking, gardening, spinning, wood carving, and canning were done back then. The students had a wonderful time and enjoyed lunch while overlooking the Delaware River.
Ridgeway Elementary School was treated to a visit by the Ridgeway Fire Department to educate the students on fire safety. Firefighters from the fire department exhibited proper techniques of how to stop, drop, and roll in the school gymnasium, in addition to educating the students about general fire safety. A firefighter dressed head to toe in equipment to showcase a full firefighter uniform. Finally, the firefighter demonstrated lessons on how to escape a house fire. The lessons were put to the test as students entered the Ridgeway Fire Department smokehouse. One by one, they used the safe escape route to ultimately gather as a group. We'll be right
back with our middle school news.
That was my fault.
I'm 6 feet from the edge and I'm thinking maybe 6 feet ain't so far down. This time, this place, misused mistakes. I feel good. I knew that I would not. I feel good. I knew that I would not. So good, so good. I got you. Wow, I feel nice.
Welcome back, Manchester. Before we begin with our middle school news, let's take a look at the environmental tip of the day. Today's tip is for all you pet owners. You wouldn't feed your kids meat that's been deemed unfit for human consumption, so why would you give it to your dog? Many dog and cat foods contain fillers, preservatives, and meat from diseased cattle. To keep your pet in top shape, try feeding him organic pet. It's made from organically raised farm animals and contains no artificial preservatives.
Alright. It is now time for some news about the middle school. This year, Manchester School District is implementing a new initiative called Social and Emotional Learning. As both students and teachers experience ever-increasing stress in our fast-paced world, schools are turning to these programs for help on learning, managing their emotions, and becoming a responsible citizen. Recently at the middle school, Mrs. Sarah Stevenson introduced mindfulness at the middle school's first Wellness Wednesday. Throughout the year, on the Wednesdays, the middle school will introduce new techniques for students to manage their emotions.
It is now time for our high school news. Recently, Manchester Township High School Athletic Department inducted new members into the Athletic Hall of Fame. A ceremony was held at the high school for inductees and their families. The inductees were then introduced during the halftime of the football game. That evening, those honored were chosen for their outstanding athletic careers and positive examples throughout the Manchester community.
Are you ready for Homecoming Hawks? Spirit Week is currently being held at the high school. Each day, classes compete to see who can represent the most spirit. As you can see in the picture, Twin Day was recently featured. At the end of the week, the student government will choose which class won based on their points throughout the competition. Spirit Week finishes with the homecoming game followed by the annual homecoming dance. This year, our Hawks vs. Point Pleasant Beach. Go Hawks!
We'll be right back after this short public service announcement with our school district news.
Would you care?
Would you care?
Does it matter?
Matter?
If you or someone you know needs help dealing with suicide, call 800-245-9090.
Find it kind of funny.
Try putting yourself in their shoes.
Sad. The dreams in which I'm dying are the best I've ever had. I find it hard to tell you. I find it hard to take.
No one is better than
We
anyone.
run in circles. It's a very, very mad world.
Welcome back, Manchester. It is now time for our school district news. The New Jersey Association of School Administrators has selected our very own superintendent, David Trethewey, as the 2019 Regional Superintendent of the Year for South Jersey. A graduate of Wilkes University, Trethewey began his education career as a math teacher and spent 25 years in Jackson as a teacher, coach, supervisor, vice principal, and acting principal. In 2000, he became the assistant superintendent at the Central Regional High School District and was appointed as superintendent of schools the following year. In 2008, he was appointed superintendent in Manchester. In his 11 years in Manchester, Trethewey has served on numerous committees, boards, and panels in a variety of areas, including curriculum, instruction, school, funding, and security and legislation. Congratulations, Mr. Trethewey.
In other district news, Rory Dunkley is starting the final phase of her Girl Scout Gold project, the beautification of the Manchester Township High School athletic field. The cost of this final phase, a hawk mascot statue garden with paver walls and landscaping, is significantly higher than she anticipated. Rory has been fundraising for this project for the past year, and she still needs to sell a handful of business/organization sponsorships banners to complete this project. Within the next 3 weeks, she spent the entire summer working on improving the high school athletic field in an attempt to bring more pride to our community. If you know anyone who would be willing to make an in-kind donation or purchase a banner to hang at the athletic field, please contact the school at 732-657-2121.
Well, that's all for today. I'm Eddie R.
And I'm Thomas S. Thanks for watching this week's weekly update, student-produced, student-taped, and student-run for MTHS 21's, where we inform you, inspire, and empower.